What's going on, guys? Sam with Sam's Main Tree Service. I want to show you guys my new chipper. I'm in love with it. It's awesome. Why did I buy a new chipper? Well, there's a multitude of reasons. I didn't think I needed a bigger chipper either until I actually kind of like tried one out. So reason number one, I guess, I had a 12 XPC. I love that thing. I paid it off. I've owned it for 2 years, and it was a great little machine. Nothing wrong with it at all, really. But the fact is, we started getting busy, and dump fees went up. So dumping a load of logs used to be 40 to 60 bucks a load. Dumping a load of logs now is 120 to 160 or 80 a load. That's one factor. Another factor is our local dump closed. So now, we have a dump 15 minutes away, which isn't the end of the world, but hey, we're used to being able to dump 5 minutes away 24/7. Now we're not 24/7, so now they also charge a lot at this new dump, so that's no good. Another thing is the capacities. A trailer full of logs, you stack, like this chip truck, you fill this chip truck up with logs, you're going to fit, let's say, 10 logs in it, right? You chip those 10 logs, you can fit another 30 logs in there because the chipping compacts everything really nice. There's no gaps, there's no airspace. So we're hauling less logs, and that's the other thing, hauling logs. There's a few reasons why hauling logs is bad. It's kind of dangerous because we use a flatbed trailer, like a gooseneck. And then we have my dump trailer. So the dump trailer is safe, but the gooseneck, you really got to strap them down good, and that's no problem, but that takes time, and you don't get paid for wasting time. You get paid for making time. So and then you're not hauling as much either. So with the hauling logs, here's another factor. The chipper is usually the closest thing to the job. If you're doing a crane job, if you're doing a trimming job, if you're doing a what do you call it, just a regular removal, with spikes or something, you're getting the chipper the closest thing to the tree, other than maybe the bucket or the crane. So the trip time with the ditch witch to the tree to the chipper is, let's say, 30 seconds. Now if you have to load a log, you have to now go, we park them in the street for the most part, the trailers. Now we have to drive, on the ditch witch another 30 seconds, let's say. That might not seem like a lot, another 30 seconds. But hey, when you're running 30 times through that truck, 30 seconds there, 30 seconds back, that's 30 minutes of your day wasted throwing logs up. And that doesn't even include you finessing logs or stacking logs or trying to make them fit better or this or that, or cutting the log off the limb because your chipper won't take it. And now you gotta, and then now you gotta strap logs down. And then now when you're going to the dump, it may seem minute, but hey, guess what? You go to the dump 3 times a day. Dumping a load of chips is fast. Open the doors, dump them. Nothing's going to happen to your truck. You're fine. Dump trailer, you got to dump a load of logs. You best make sure those logs are lined up good or not going to roll over and smash your door. That's important. That might take only another 30, 40 seconds a day, maybe more, maybe less. But when you're doing it every day, 2, 3, 4 times a day, that means a lot. So And then another thing is, let's say your gooseneck, we load the big logs on the gooseneck. Now I gotta unload them. Now I gotta strap them down. It's no good. It's no good. You're wasting so much time. And then now let's say a crane pick comes down and there's I have a 12-inch chipper. Now I have a 19. So let's say there's a log this big on my 12. Oh man, that's a little bit big. Now I gotta cut it off. Now the guy's gotta set the log aside with the loader. Then he's gotta shove the pick in with the chipper. And then, with the 12, sometimes you got to help the chipper with the machine. And then now you got to go move the log. And now we're waiting on, there's so many multitude of reasons and all compound factors. And that's the big thing. So we're holding more volume. We're getting rid of less logs. It's easier chipping, So another thing with the bigger chipper is the fact that, like, for example, we did a spruce tree in a front yard. It was really tight access, so we could only fit the bucket truck. What we ended up doing was I had the guys stage all the brush, and I said, we'll chip it at the end because we don't have space for the chipper. We're on a main road. We can't park in the road. So what we did was got the tree down, made big piles of brush, pulled the bucket out, pulled the chipper in the street. I had my 2 guys directing traffic, and then I was chipping. Within 10 minutes, all the brush from that tree was done. We don't have to wait and keep up with chipping because the machine keeps up way faster with the chipping. It's no problem. It doesn't care. You could shove a 4-foot wide pile in it of pine branches and just keep feeding it and feeding it. It does not care. Why else did we buy this? A little bit of the fact is you know, you're not going to beat this chipper up as much as you would a smaller chipper. You know, it weighs a little bit more. So let me go over the chipper real quick with you guys. Like, what is it even? So this is a Bandit 19 XPC. The 19 XPC, I guess the C means it's like a light duty 21, something like that. I don't know. XPC means something's light duty on it. But not really. I mean, nothing's light duty. We have the Ford motor. We went with the gas motor. Why do we go with the gas motor? Diesel eats a lot of fuel idling, especially with these new what do you call it, stage 4 tier 4 final. So there's a genuine Ford motor. It's not a PSI motor. PSI does not make Chevy. Chevy does not make PSI. PSI makes Chevy Chevy style motors. So this is a genuine Ford Motor Company. So these are good. They're distributed by Michigan Cat. We got the hydraulic jack. You will save lots of time with those. I don't care what anyone says. A 10K jack is the slowest thing on earth I've ever seen. And the hydraulic jacks are fast. So when you're unhooking your chipper 2-3 times a day, and it takes, let's say, a minute with each hydraulic, with the regular 10K jacks, a minute up, minute down, that's 2 minutes. You unhook it 6 times, that's 15 minutes. No, that's 12 minutes, but whatever. And then you're wearing out your guys. Hydraulic chute helps keep the truck full faster, and well, not faster, helps keep the truck full, and you don't waste as much space with a hydraulic, because now you can change it and your guys don't get lazy. It's just a push of a lever. Single axle. I wish I could get a tandem. The dealership didn't have any, and I'd have to special order it. We did get the winch. All the new chippers have these electronic winches. They're not bad. The electronics on these don't go bad. They're fine. You know, a lot of people like the old hydraulic lever, but I've known guys with chippers for years with those. I didn't want the winch, but it was all they had, and it does come in handy for sure. I mean, there's special occasions where it does come in handy. If you have a skid steer loader, and if you're trying to be budget friendly, I would say you probably don't need the winch. But if you are in this business to win it and you want to do really good, get a winch. You never know when it comes in handy. I mean, here's a prime example. There's a creek through there. You're not getting skid steer through there, but customer wants you to drop one of those trees and chip them. What are you going to do? That winch line doesn't care if there's a creek. The ditch witch does. Get a winch. So that's where it comes in handy. If your machine ever goes down, you could at least still do pretty decent tree work with it. The feed wheels are massive on this thing. I mean, they'll take I think it's like a 25 by 21 inch opening. So I think it's 25 high by 21 wide, I believe. It might be 21 wide by 25 high. I don't know, but it's big. They went with a round bar this year. The fuel saver helps. This is basically just a throttle up. You just hold this, throttle it up instead of walking over there. The big difference between the 18 and 19, the 19 has a chain driven feed wheel. So hydraulics are here. They go here to a gear, through a chain to the feed wheel. It gears it down. It's basically like a winch. That top feed wheel will not stop. I mean, you could put in whatever size union you want. That top feed wheel is still spinning. Even if it won't take it in, it's still trying. That's why you buy this. This thing just chews anything apart. Whole trees, whatever. You know, if it fits, it basically ships. The fuel tanks, these are the tall ones, I think. I think these are the big ones. They might not be. I don't know. Seal tanks, big chute. And then people might be asking about fuel efficiency on these. So I have 25 hours on the machine. We have, I think, 6 chipping hours on it. 6 to 8 chipping hours. So the fuel on these machines is not bad. We demoed a diesel, and we actually used more diesel because we thought letting a diesel idle would be fine because it's a diesel. Not with these tier 4. You really don't want to let them idle a whole lot. You want to keep them revved up. So we burned more diesel on the demo than we did gas on this. We fill this up probably about once a week, depending. I've only owned it for about two weeks now, but we fill this up once a week. I would say cost me about $100 to fill up, 120 to fill up. We will do a lot of work with this thing. So the logs we've hauled away, these are all the logs except for one load in the dump trailer that we've hauled away since we've owned this chipper. We got 25 hours on it. I've done a lot of work in the past 2 weeks. I'm very impressed. These are all the logs except for one load of oak. These are all the logs. Oh, we did take one load of the sawmill. Okay, so 2 loads of wood that this thing did not eat. And this is the size of stuff it doesn't eat. Actually, this spruce log, it will eat the top of this. Yeah, it will eat the top of that spruce log if I wanted to, but that's a decent mill log. So I really like the chipper, guys. We're not doing firewood either. You know, we used to do firewood, and we still do, but the problem is the buyers, I'll sell them 4 cord, they tell me it's 3, and then, you know, we never agreed on quantity. I've never had a problem with anyone else, you know, privately, like homeowners and such, or farmers for that matter. But now that I'm trying to sell to big businesses, they're always taking advantage of the quantities and the pricing. You know, I'll try to sell a cord for $2.50 to them per cord, you know, wholesale. I'll sell them 20 cords a week, and they say, oh, that's, you know, if I send them 5 cord, they say, oh, that's 4 cord, oh, that's 4.5, oh, that's 3.5, and they're also shortchanging the payments. You know, they turn around and sell it for $600-700 a cord, $500-600 a cord or whatever, and I'm only getting half of that, not even. So it's not worth it. There's a lot of labor. I haven't been to our wood yard ever since I bought this thing, and it's nice. So I really didn't think I could afford this, but when you look at the cost of everything else and the cost of you not affording this, it's insane. I'd be killing myself trying to work with the other chipper compared to what we're doing now.